at the Sheldrick's Wildlife Trust. We kindly request you all to try and maintain total silence for the period that you're going to be here, so that we can be able to see these baby elephants and also to hear more about them. And if you maintain silence, the elephants will be able to come very close to the line where you are, which means you have the privilege to touch and play with them. And while playing with them, and make sure that you do it silently, so that you don't interrupt with the others who are very close to you and are interested in listening to their stories. If the elephants come very close to the line where you are allowed to touch and take some photos. And while touching them, make sure that you don't put your hands in the mouth. And this is because all the elephants have good teeth. And so if you put your hands in the mouth and something happens, please, we shall not be held responsible. You're also advised to make sure that you keep standing up if the elephants come very close to the line where you are. This is because if you squat down or sit down, some of them see you as a toy to play with. And so they might want to come and push and kick as they do with the soccer ball. But if you keep standing up, it will give you a lot of respect. And if you've got a mobile phone on you, you're advised to use it only for taking photos and not for communication, because everyone communicating on their phones will be making noise for all the rest. And if the elephants are very close to the line where you are, and you are having some good time with them, you are advised to remain more alert. And this is because some of the elephants might want to play the pushing game. In that process of pushing one another, they might end up landing on your feet. And smoking is not allowed within the zone. For the school teachers, you're advised to spread yourselves among the children and make sure that you help them maintain silence. Wanafunzi wote na waomba mnyamaze, mtulie. Kama watoto ya ndogo wanakuja karibu, usikimbie na usilie, sababu hawawezi kufanya jambo lolote, ni marafiki zetu na hawana ubaya na wewe. Kwa hivyo kama anakaribia, hakuna kukimbia na hakuna kulia. And so the Sheldrick's Wildlife Trust is a project that was started officially back in the year 1977 after the death of David Sheldrick, who was a naturalist and the senior founder warden of the Lightsover National Park. He died in 1977, and this project was started in his memory under the management of the widow, who is now the late Dr. Dame Daphne Sheldrick, who has been running the project since then until early last year when she passed on, leaving the mandate to her daughter, Angela Sheldrick, who was running the project together with the mother for about 17 years before the mother passed on. Right now, the project is under the management of Angela Sheldrick. And so we are taking care of orphan baby elephants and orphan baby rhinos, and later on reintroducing them back into the wild. And that is why all the babies you're going to see here today are orphans. We've rescued them from different parts of the country, and they all have different reasons for being orphans. Some of them, we know exactly what has caused them to be left orphans, and that is why we rescue them. Others, we are really not very sure. But still the others were found when they are still at a very young age, at an age where they would not have survived without the mother's milk, and also without protection against the dangers. That is why we had to come in and help rescue them. A young elephant will need the mother's milk for the first 2 years minimum. This means if they happen to lose the mother soon they're below 2, they will not survive. They can easily starve to death or can be attacked by the lions and the hyenas and the kids. And so that is the reason to why we have to come in, so that we can help rescue them handread them here in the nursery for approximately 3 years. And any time after the age of 3, we will start to reintroduce all the elephants back into the wild. We necessarily don't take them where we found them, but we'll always reintroduce them to Savo East National Park and Kibwezi Forest. And so we've got 3 stations based with our keepers. We lead the elephants out in the park every day, setting them free so that they can interact with different groups of wild elephants and communicate and make friends. And late in the evening, all our orphans will be directed to our base where they all spend the night. But after a long period of interaction and communication with different groups of wild elephants, the relationship between our orphans and the wild elephants becomes a strong bond, which means our orphans will be invited and adopted in these groups of wild elephants. And once they all get adopted, they will be trained by the wild elephants on how to stay back into the wild naturally. They will be protected against all other dangers out in the wild by the wild elephants. They'll also be warned against human beings by the wild elephants, which means all the orphans that you can see here now at some point will have become as wild as any other elephant out there. This process of reintroducing them back into the wild takes quite a long time before it fully happens. It takes a minimum of about 5 years before they start to make friends among the wild herds. And it takes this long period because it depends with different characters of different elephants. It depends with the reasons that have caused them to be left orphans. It also depends with their age when they became orphans. It also depends on a factor that elephants will always stay in groups and families. And that is why strangers are not just invited anyhowly in a herd of wild elephants. And that is why our keepers have to stay with them until the time they will be adopted. And once they all get adopted, then we can successfully say we've achieved our target. Our main target here is to rescue them since they have been found orphans and raise them, and later on reintroducing them back into the wild. And this means if a young elephant comes to the nursery, this young elephant will stay with us for a minimum of between 8 to 10 years before they start to become wild. Right now, we've got a total of 50 elephants in the nursery. You're going to see 14 out of the 15. One elephant will not come down for this public viewing.